the Security Systems News Media Stage at ISC West 2018. I'm Brad Durost. Joining me this afternoon is Gary Larson from AMT. Thank you for joining us today, Gary.
Oh, thank you, Brad. I appreciate it.
What are your first impressions of the show? I know it's early on here on day one, but what have you seen so far?
We've mostly been doing meetings, but we're looking for people that are moving beyond, some of the concepts we've been talking about with you guys at Cloud Plus and at TechSec, and some of those conversations. How cybersecurity, data privacy, the use of the cloud for that. How does that come into play? The meetings that we've been having are people that are really starting to leverage those things, and so we're watching how they're dealing with some of those concepts to really get those solutions. It's going to be a little bit overwhelming for a while.
In case some of our viewers don't know, what exactly does AMT do?
Sure. We are a primarily cloud service hosted access control solution. We do installed as well, but our focus has been more towards moving away from just a product. There's a lot of products. When you look at the needs that we have today, people really need to have the larger problem solved. And so the cloud has really been a way for us to really provide that solution where they can just use their phone, know that they've got cybersecurity, know that everything is backed up, and they've got experts doing it for them. You can only do that through those kind of technologies. So that's been our focus for about 10 years.
What are you seeing in the industry as far as companies adapting to the cloud?
Well, it's interesting. The IT world has been doing this since, how old is Salesforce.com now? 12, 14 years? So it's not a new concept at all. The security industry has always had, it's one of the more complex industries, just in terms of the number of products and the relationships and things. So it's not lent itself well to that migration. It's really been awkward at best. And so it's a lot of things have to change for that. Our focus has been more with managed service providers coming from the IT background, but slowly we're seeing some of the companies in the security industry space realize they need to make the changes, which are not insignificant in terms of how they compensate and then train their salespeople, how they go to market. But there's no question, you either get a, yes, we're down this road, or I don't want to talk to you about this, which I think says something all by itself.
As far as AMT goes, anything exciting coming down the road? Anything you guys are working on? Big plans for 2018?
Absolutely is. In fact, we just now completed a migration of a new product that we just completely rewrote after a couple of years, targeting really mobile first, targeting cloud, but can be installed in local data centers. But we just 2 weeks ago completed our migration to Amazon, AWS, which blew me away, to be honest. We spent the previous month studying where should we go. Our current data center had been acquired 5 times. I think some of these people are doing like you flip houses. I think they're flipping RMR businesses. And we realized it was time to shop. And so we went shopping. And when we looked at AWS, all the things we've been talking about at TechSec, at Cloud Plus, in terms of how analytics come into play, how cybersecurity comes into play, it should be completely unsurprising to us that Amazon is way ahead. And they've got all these different services that can add value that now that we're on their platform, we can now just move farther and farther into this amazing infrastructure they have. So that's one big thing that we've just now completed. And then the other big thing is we've got our next coming release here is HTML5 based video, meaning that we now can use browsers everywhere. We can use local storage, local access to that so we can get high-speed bandwidth, everything served up from the cloud, but still managed locally. It's an interesting hybrid, and we've talked to several people already this morning that is absolutely the vision that they have. So we've got one that we'll be releasing here in just within probably 4 to 6 weeks, and then I'm sure we'll have at least more further down the line. There's going to be a number of things coming later in the year that are going to deal with moving down. If you look at the ASA Abloy, what do they call their door securities, their spectrum. We're going to be moving farther and farther down that spectrum because those are really appropriate for a lot of mid-market solutions, schools, just an answer to things that are going on in society today. We've got to find ways to secure more doors at lower cost. And so all those things are going to be big investments for us here through the last half of this year.
Awesome. Well, you've been a great supporter of us with our TechSec, with our Cloud Plus, and we certainly appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. I hope a lot of good comes out of this for you. Is there anything you wanted to leave our viewers with?
No, other than just to thank you guys for what you've done. You've done a great job of promoting these things that we need in this industry, and it needs the voice and it needs exposure. And just keep doing a good job.
Perfect. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.